Welcome to another episode on my channel. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about the end times, specifically about the lake of fire. So as you see here, I have opened up on this computer Revelation chapter 19. And we're going to specifically look at verse 17, and we're going to go through different kinds of scriptures here and there. But I kind of want to paint a picture for y'all of what's going to happen at the end when all is said and done with the unbelievers and those hypocrites out there, as well as, well, we'll go into that in just a minute. So if you look here in chapter 19 of Revelation, it says, "Then I saw an angel standing on the sun, and he cried out in a loud voice, saying to all the birds flying high overhead, 'Come gather together for the great supper of God, so that you may eat the flesh of kings, the flesh of commanders, the flesh of mighty men, the flesh of horses and of their riders, and the flesh of everyone, both free and slave, small and great.' Then I saw the beast, the kings of the earth, and their armies gathered together to wage war against the rider on the horse and against his army. But the beast was taken prisoner, and along with him the false prophet who had been performing signs in his presence. He deceived those who accepted the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image with these signs. Both of them were thrown alive into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. The rest were killed with the sword that came from the mouth of the rider on the horse, and all the birds were filled with their flesh." Now, if you notice, the false prophet, right, the beast, the false prophet, were thrown into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. Now, the lake of fire, if you're not aware of this, if you're a non-believer watching this, is what will happen to all unbelievers and hypocrites and such who do not do the will of the Father. Everyone will take a share pretty much in the lake of fire, okay? And this is going to be where Satan, the false prophet, the Antichrist, the beast, will all be in the lake of fire with you. Now, I have known some unbelievers in my life who seem to think that it's going to be a party at that time, but it's not. You're going to be burning forever and ever in fire, in a lake of fire, and it's going to be complete torment forever and ever and ever. There'll be no relief. It'll be complete agony. This is why in other parts of the Bible it talks about that those that are thrown into the lake of fire, it'll be gnashing of teeth, because you'll be just gnashing your teeth together so hard because the pain is going to be so intense as the flesh burns for all eternity. You'll be in constant destruction over and over and over again because you did not accept the Lord Jesus Christ. You did not do the will of the Father. You were a hypocrite. You were a sorcerer. Maybe you were a liar. Maybe you're a thief, murderer, idolater, homosexual. Maybe you're effeminate. Maybe you're an adulterer. All of them will have their share in the lake of fire. And if you notice here, in Revelation chapter 20, says, and in verse 13, by the way, says, "Then the sea gave up its dead, and death and Hades gave up their death. All were judged according to their works. Death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. And anyone not found written in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. And if you look here in Revelation 21, starting in 5, right here, it says this. Then the one seated on the throne said, "Look, I am making everything new." He also said, "Write, because these words are faithful and true." And he said to me, "It's done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give water as a gift to the thirsty from the spring of life. The victor will inherit these things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But the cowards, unbelievers, vile, murderers, sexual immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their share will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." So, for those of you who are not believers, that's what you got to look forward to for all eternity. And it doesn't matter if you think, well, this is, religion, this is fake, it ain't true. You can believe that all you want. But at the end, when you are standing before Jesus, you'll know the truth. But I pray that you will know the truth before then, before you're thrown into the lake of fire. Because once you're thrown in the lake of fire, there's no do-overs. It's over. It's done. You're never coming back from that. You're going to be in there forever and ever with the devil, with the false prophet, with the Antichrist, the beast. You're going to be there forever. You're not going to get out. And this is serious business. Now, you could go and get drunk tonight and kind of forget about it, but you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You could get hit bus by right now while you're watching this. You could die right now. So my suggestion to you is, before you take your last breath, you give yourself over to Christ. You let him be Lord of your life. You trust in him. Give up all your vile, wicked ways. Strive to be perfect as your Lord in heaven is perfect. Strive to be holy. Strive to be righteous. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. But if you want to continue living in your sin, this is what you have to look forward to. The lake of fire will burn forever and ever. There will be no relief. You will die over and over and over again, never truly dying, never not existing, but forever and ever you will burn with the beast, false prophet, with Satan. You will burn forever. So, my friends, this isn't something to take lightly. As far as the hypocrites, those out there who profess to be Christians and you continue to live in sin, you're liable to lose your salvation. And I know that's a touchy topic, right? Everybody's like, no, my pastor told me I ain't going to lose my salvation. Several times in the Bible, it talks about those who do not continue living for Christ and do not have Christ in them anymore and have actually fallen away from the faith. Your share will be in the lake of fire as well, if you do not do the will of the Father. If you do not become slaves of Christ, do not do his will, do not love one another, do not lay your life down for one another, if you do not love your neighbor, if you do not try to live holy lives. For Christ died for you so that you don't have to live that way no more. Your chains have been broken, and you can live free of sin. You live free of the temptations of the devil. But if you don't, if you decide to continue living in sin, thinking that you are already saved and you don't have nothing to worry about, then, my friends, your share will be in the lake of fire, where all the unbelievers, hypocrites, all the vile murderers, idolaters, sorcerers, and such, exactly where they'll be. And you'll be burning forever and ever. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can say, Jerry's crazy. He's a false teacher, like some people have already posted. And that's fine. You can do that. But I'm telling you, if you choose to live a wicked lifestyle, whether you're an unbeliever or a believer, your share will be in the lake of fire. And it's not going to be no picnic. It's no party. Just pain and agony forever and ever. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I know it's a kind of a bummer, but it has to be said. And if you do like this episode, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps the algorithm get this out to more and more people that need to hear it. And so with that being said, I want to wish you all a wonderful week. And I'll catch you next episode. Take care. Bye.